So Riley and I were in here today, and Beth actually asked me to create a little bit, we were having a conversation this morning, and create a little bit of a video that just kind of describes, I don't know, my month and my journey. And I don't want it to make it long, but I don't know how to terribly make it short when I really want it to help people. So I'll try. So I started with Neora in 2017. And for the first year, I tried, whatever that meant. I didn't start Neora.com. I didn't read the slide edge. I didn't make a list of people. I didn't find my why. I didn't do much. I used the product. I will say that. I used the product. And I would share with some people that I worked with, or that I felt like needed it. And so I told people about it in my family. Nobody wanted it. I'd never done anything in network marketing before, and I never really found myself being someone that I thought would ever want to. Oh, the videos. Anyway, so I don't know, what you consider, starting when I didn't do any of those things, but I used it. I told some people, and that was about it. Sometimes when I would get lucky and some people would buy some things, I usually had enough for 3 customers, enough to do that. But I didn't make any money, and I had no clue how to make any money in that compensation plan at all, to be super honest. They announced a trip to Puerto Vallarta. I think I told a couple more people about it. It just kind of came and went. I saw a whole bunch of people getting it. I never really understood what they did. I would be encouraged to go to regionals. I would be encouraged to go to conference, and I never decided to make it. Regionals are pretty far from me, in central Pennsylvania, and they're either in Philly, near Philly, or near Pittsburgh, and so 2.5 hours at least. Pittsburgh longer. And then I didn't watch Neora. I didn't go to the Edge trainings. I still have the Edge. I still bought the Edge. But I get frustrated that I wasn't doing more or having more success. But if I'm honest, I didn't do much that anyone told me to do. And I didn't go to conference because the first year was in St. Louis and it was over my son's birthday. The second year was in Vegas. It was over my son's birthday. And so I guess, long story short, I would be frustrated that more people didn't want to buy it, even though I didn't understand the head space that it took. And so even though, I'm a cognitive behavioral therapist, my full-time job is that of a therapist, I did not understand the head part of this business. So when Beth earned the trip to Cancun, her husband couldn't go, and so she brought me. And I remember thinking, at first I was like, what is the catch? Still thinking there was a catch. And she's like, no catch, just pay for airfare. I was like, okay. My husband was like, Nicole, if you don't go, I'm going. I was like, okay, I'll go. So that was going to be a neat thing. And the first time I've really done anything for myself, like let myself go to Cancun without, and I barely knew Beth, and I didn't know anybody in the company. And so it was really hard for me. It's not something I normally would do. But I did. And on the way there, I was like, well, all the leadership's going to be there, so you should read the book, right? So I pulled out the slide edge and I started reading it on the plane, and that was it. That was the first steps to my personal transformation, is to starting to understand what it took. The small decisions that add up over time was like, oh, okay, everyone's looking for a quantum leap, and that's not what makes success. Okay. And then things started clicking. They started clicking for me in my, my other job, my full-time job with being a clinician. And I just kind of got hooked at that point. And then I just was around the company and the people then. And so I went to a leadership meeting, and it was, I remember just thinking I didn't belong there because I didn't earn it. And so but everyone was extremely welcoming. They were extremely encouraging, which I was like, what is this? I didn't understand that that's just how the culture is and that's how the community is. I didn't get it. But I was enjoying it and I was receiving it. And so that was nice. And then little pieces of that trip kind of all started falling to place. I remember having lunch with Rhonda Carver and she was like, "What's your why?" And I couldn't even get it out. I was like, "What do you mean?" And then she's like, "Why do you want that? Did you want another business?" And I just, kind of lost it. And poor Megan and Karen, Brian were all sitting there and it was like, oh, is this girl okay? I remember Megan telling me I needed a drink. That was that's the impression I left her with, and she was wrong. And Karen, Neora, spent time on the beach, just pouring in terms of what personal development she used, and then getting to spend time with just various people. I think Ron Cipriani spent time with me at the pool, and we talked about my grandpa because we're in the same town, and little by little, people just kind of poured into me, and Beth being supportive, and met Sherry Hosick and sat next to her at the leadership training, and just I loved it. I loved it. And so I remember thinking when I left, I feel like they kept saying, "You earned it, congratulations," and I was like, well, I didn't, and I want to. And then I remember thinking that they were all special and get to spend some like alone time in the spa. And that was pretty, it did allow me some clarity, but no different than what right now does, just some downtime where I didn't have to do anything or be anywhere. And so I just spent some time praying and just reflecting and just being open to what the possibility might be. And so once that happened, I kind of came back with like if they can do it, I can do it thinking, because I think that they're all amazing, wonderful, beautiful people, but I have my parts like that too, right? Don't we all? And so I just felt like they're amazing, but we're all amazing. And if it's something I want, then I should try. And so I came back and I was just super passionate and a lot more focused on helping other people understand what this company can do, not only for your life, your skin, your health, but your life. But I still didn't know how to make any money. And so I came back. They announced the trip in July, and I was on vacation at the time with my family, and I remember being glued to my phone thinking I can't miss another conference, because even though everything I said that I was going to do in terms of I wasn't going to go because of this or this or this, I was there anyway, and I wasn't where there was parts where I had to be kind of peeled away from it, because every announcement I wanted to know about and everything they were posting I wanted to learn about. And so I made that decision from there on to go to the next conference, and I was there in Nashville over my daughter's birthday, which, the May one, it was nobody's birthday, so, but yeah, and so she was super supportive. They understood when I came back with a drive, and so that was in May and June, and so I ran in July for the trip to the Bahamas, and I received that in October, and I thought, well, I'll just run for level 2 then, and I got that in November, and that's when I got my car. And so literally it was just that short of time being a lot more focused and mindful, and honestly not being afraid of the back office. It's very much like understanding what got trip points, what didn't, because again, I didn't know how to make any money yet. And so fast forward, when Neora came along and they gave us this wonderful compensation plan that made sense, I was like, oh, I can do this. At first it was an adjustment because they took away the volume and things like that you were getting for free product, which technically didn't make a lot of sense. I understood that business decision wise. So it was an adjustment, but they were so kind, and the people who had the Lexus, they gave us a 6-month adjustment period, and I did go out and get the car. And the reason was I never saw Lexus on my radar. It wasn't something I really wanted necessarily. Who doesn't? I needed another car because I carted my dog around in my car a lot, and it was kind of hard to do because I didn't want his nails hurting the leather in the car. So getting another car that I didn't have to pay for was okay, let's do that. But I really wanted it to be like my team's version of Cancun. Like I wanted them to see that if I could do it, they could do it. And I believe that to be true too, still. And so the thing, kind of fast forward that I've worked on is, you know, as a clinician, we work on clinical material a lot, and we work on not being depressed, and we help people not work on their trauma, and we work on not being anxious. But what happens is, and I've said it before, it's just, you know, if baseline's here and all those diagnoses are here, we try to get people to baseline. But I feel like what Neora has done for me is understand that there's a whole bunch more than baseline up here that we need to be living in and working within. And that's the thing that I think that personal development has done for me the most, is just helped me understand that we don't have to stay at baseline. Okay. And we're not helping anybody. We're not helping our kids. We're not helping my clients. We're not helping, you know, our families. We're not helping anyone if we just strive for base. So I learned I can dream. I learned I can go after my goals and not have to apologize for them. So I did, you know, when the trips come, I run hard. I was one of the first 100. I got the, and I just kept running, you know what I mean? I just kept running for it. And I want everybody to be there at the next trip when it's announced. I'm looking super forward to that. And I really want to see there be a conference. I know. I'm just going to wait to hear. But I'm still going to be looking forward. I'm going to go to regionals, and now I show up. And so, you know, show up to go up, right? And so, what I want for myself, my why is changing over time. I do love that it allows me to pay my mortgage and pay for the car and pay for other things in a climate where I needed something good in my life, because working with trauma and mental health all the time, I've been doing it for 20 years, and there is a burnout piece to it that I have to make sure. I still need to work, and I want to help people. My heart is to help people, but part of it is just, it's hard all the time. And so I needed the good. Neora is my good. But I'm not, and part of the reason she wanted me to do this was because I think that you guys look at someone like an Autumn Klein and think that she's, you know, it's easy for her. She works at it all the time. And so I know that because me and Shelly and her, and we've done a lot of things together lately, just because it's on our minds as much as it is. And so, you know, and that's part of this, is like really finding other team members that will pick you up, that will keep you focused. They'll be like, okay, what are we talking about today? Okay, oh my gosh, I had like the 7th no of the day, and the person to be like, no, you keep going, because there are people out there that need the solutions that you have. And so otherwise what happens is you forget why you're doing it, and it's not about us. I mean, is it great that we've gotten, you know, what we have? Sure, but right now in this time, I mean, we have solutions that are non-toxic for people and that are more affordable than the other stuff out there, and it works better. And I mean, I can show you my before and afters. I mean, what it's done for my hair, what it's done for my skin, what it's done for my health. Like, I just feel compelled to share with people because I know they need it, and I know they're buying stuff. And so this month, last month, every month in between, sorry, I got a call from the school. Each day I show up for my business, and part of the reason why I do that is because I know that it offers solutions to people, but I also know that I love it. I love the community. I love everything about it, but it didn't happen overnight, and it's not like I'm somebody who is a super good salesperson and I'm in that population. It's not that, and half the time I can't even share with my clients. I mean, if they mention not sleeping, then I can mention the chews just like I would anything else. But I'm super careful about all of that, and not, you know, mixing that part of my business, and I disclose any money that I would get and refund it to them if it's, you know, those kind of things, and if I can give it through a copay or whatever. So I'm not trying to make money off of them. I'm trying to get a solution to them instead of having a lot of psychotropic meds and things like that. So I don't want to go too long, but my sales, I'm currently 2 days out. I haven't put another $200 order in that I have for the last day of the month. And I've surpassed my sales goals for November, and I'm reaching 7,000. And so I'm just telling you that because I'm not special. I just show up every day, and my mindset is very clear, and I'm extremely passionate about the fact that people need it. And so this is not something where I'm trying to sell them. That's disgusting to me. I'm not trying to sell anybody. I have a solution to a problem, and I want to help people pay their bills, and I want to help people sleep, and I want to help people feel good in their skin, because I know what that's like. I know it's wake up to my husband to go, you just woke up like that? He's like, you look like you got ready. And I did put makeup on all today. Mainly because my daughter was like, Mom, will you give me a makeover? So we did it. But I haven't had makeup on in a few days. Most of the videos I've done have not had makeup on. And so I just want you to hear from somebody who isn't someone that you see at the top of the leaderboards all the time or anything like that. And during this time, instead of just thinking, I don't want to bother them, it's a hard time, why would I try to sell them something? Don't try to sell anybody anything, to be super honest with you. That's my line, that's my position. Try to help offer them a solution to a problem they already have. And that has to be your heart. And so, when I say things like mindset, it means like read your books, and if you need some, like, reach out. Everybody in this culture will tell you what has helped them and help them get a mindset of integrity and of belief that we can do it. I start every morning with gratitudes. I follow up with my intentions about, and it used to be, my intentions used to be, the gamut of 3, 6, 9, like 3 customers and 6 customers, then 9 customers. And I to be honest, I never went, because I was already in my goals have always been, group wise, hit the Lexus at least. And then for myself, it was like, 1,500. And then I was like, okay, now I gotta be aiming for 3,000 every month. And for a while, that felt like a really big goal. Now my goal is to hit the 3,000 by the 15th. And that's my point, is every time you hit a goal, don't just be like, I'm gonna get my products for free and I'm gonna stop. Then it's like, okay, I'm gonna go for 6. Okay, I'm gonna go for 9. Okay, I'm gonna hit 9 by the 10th of the month, right? And so these are the things you want to do to make it fun for yourself, but also to bring good into your life and to let your mind know that you're able to receive. Because if you just are like, I want 9 in a whole month, then your mind is like, it's a scarcity mentality. And it's about you. It's not about them. And so while I want to hit those numbers, I really want to get it out to people first and foremost. And so it kind of is like a yin and yang of that. Help them, help me, help them, help me, if that makes sense. And my team's in there too. And I don't always know how to motivate them or help them see the vision, or if they watch any of the videos or the lives and they give the recommendations. And so from my heart, I just want people to know that it's possible, that you have a solution, and that I'm not somebody that, I don't think any of us that do well in terms of our personal volume, over the 3,000 is, or hit their goals, aren't working hard. Like, I don't think anyone is sitting around not working hard, but I will tell you, putting in the intentions and being someone who's consistently out there and making a post or trying to consistently help people in any way, they're coming to me now. I'll be honest with you. I had somebody who's been a customer of mine since that first trip, and she orders pretty consistently different things. She messaged me out of the blue yesterday and put a $780 order in. And you're like, why isn't she a BP? She doesn't want to sell. She doesn't want to sell. And I actually had her be a BP to get her the kit one time at the cheaper price. She didn't want to sell. And so then it didn't help me anymore, because then it didn't help her, because she'd still have to pay shipping and she still would get the 10%. And so we bumped her back down to a PC, and she just likes the products. And she tells people that she can, but really she doesn't want to sell. And so I didn't message her. You know what I mean? It's just, I always message her. I always check in on her. And she had bought the wellness kit earlier in the month. You know what I mean? So people are out there and people are spending and people do want what we have. I have people, like I said, that some of them I just was a good human, kind of like, you know, Carolyn's advice was spot on. And just, how are you? How is everybody? Just checking in. Didn't talk about Neora at all. And then now, yesterday is the first time, if I had not heard from anybody, that I said, I hadn't heard anybody about Neora and they hadn't ordered yet, because some of them were just like, oh, by the way, I need this. Okay. Yesterday was the first day I sent a message and I said, hey, you know, miss seeing your face or chatting with you or whatever. I basically just kind of said something from my heart that was like, it's my job to tell you have 10% off to use this month. I'm not going to assume you can order or you can't order. I'm just letting you know it's there, and you know, if you don't order by the end of the month, it kind of goes away. But I'm always going to be here to take care of you either way, and let me know what I can do for you. I had 3 or 4 people placed orders just because they're like, oh my gosh, I almost forgot, thank you. Some ignored me. And so I just want to say to you, it is our job, not our, you know, not this, you know, burden, to just let people know they have a deal. I love deals. And so I love when people tell me I can save money on stuff I already want and that are solutions for me. So it's a lot of talking, but hopefully it was helpful a little, and I hope that you finish your month strong. And if you need any help with mindset or encouragement, I'm here. Take care, guys.